Hi and welcome to another video in the RHCSA video series. Today's video is a continuation of the RHCSA 8 practice exam provided within the Red Hat cert Slack channel. So we're going to cover questions 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13 in this video. So it's on the screen here and it's just those ones. So we'll just go through those one by one logically, and we'll work through and see how we go. For some reason we don't have the actual system in each case which we should create these on, so I guess it will be pretty obvious if we scroll up and see what systems have which volumes, because it looks like most of these actions are just for a single system. So let's have a quick look. So we've got system setup, configured partitions below. I will check then. Okay, so we'll have to find out which ones have the additional volumes so we can actually do that. So the first thing I guess would be to run an fdisk on both servers. Let's start with server 1, fdisk -l. Just list out all the disks. So we have disk dev SDA, and here's 32 gigs. We've got two volumes, one's the Linux 1 gig, so that's probably probably a boot partition or something like that. And then we've got the Linux LVM there, so we can do df -h and quick look what that is. Oh, that's the entire thing. So yep, dev SDA 1 is the boot partition, and then we've got the RHEL 8 root partition, which is the LVM that's set up there. So that's not getting additional disks for us to manage on this one, so the actions must be on server 2. We'll soon find out if that's correct. So let's do an fdisk -l, and we have again the same at the top. So we have a 32 gig disk for SDA, and it's got the two volumes, so the Linux and the Linux LVM, and we've got the two mount points there, for one for the swap and one for the actual root partition. And then we've actually got two disks, so we've got SDB, which is 8 gigabytes in size, and then we've got SDC, and that's 8 gigabytes in size as well. Okay, so let's have another look at this. So we've got creating a volume group, a 2 gigabyte one, and then we're going to create a logical volume on top of that volume group. Then we're going to format that logical volume with XFS. Okay, that's all essentially one disk, and we're going to extend the file system, again one disk, and then we're going to finish provision a volume. So I guess we'll use, based on the instructions here, we will use SDB for the first few steps, and then SDC for that finally provision volume. So let's see how that goes with that. I don't think I see any other volume kind of actions here in the later bits, so yep, that looks good. So let's do that. So first thing to do is create the new 2 gigabyte volume group named VGPrac. Okay, so number 2, let's do a clear, so it's SDB. So the first thing to do is just do a VGS and see if there's anything created. So there is a volume group, so that's the volume group for the current system, so that's the LVM I mentioned earlier. We actually need to do a PV create first, and we need to do SDB, wasn't it? Yes. Okay, generated by so we have extra disk 1, extra disk 2, and they're actually mounted already as a disk, so we can probably just unmount these. Okay, so it's mounted at extra disk 1, so let's just do a clear, and let's do a PVS. So there's no PV there, so do a umount and dev sdb. Okay, so the next action would be to fdisk, because we need to set it as a 2 gig volume group. We're gonna have to do an fdisk on the disk in question. So dev sdb. Okay, I never remember the command line in this, so I'll just do an M for help. So let's do a new partition. So n. We'll just do a primary. Set number 1. First sector default. Last sector. How big do I want it? 2G. Oh. Okay. Yep. Just plus 2G. So it's create a new partition of type Linux and the size 2GB. That's all we need. So we can do a w2 write, and now if we do it fdisk -l dev sdb, we now have a dev sdb1, which is 2 gig in size. Great. So that's now ready to go. So we can do a clear, and let's do a, first we've got to do a pv create, so create the physical volume, and that will be, that doesn't really matter what we call it, but we'll just do it fsdb1. Okay, and we just do pbs to make sure it's created. We can, and then we're going to assign the volume group, so we can see we've got the size 2 gig, we've got the volume group of, and no volume group at the moment, so just do a vg create dev, I'll give it the name, so vg prac, I think it was, yep, vg prac, and then the volume, so dev sdb1, and then we just do vgs. We can see it's 2 gig, which is great. So that's that step there. So now I've created the new 2 gigabyte volume group named vg prac. So now we need to create a 500 meg logical volume named lv prac inside the vg prac volume group. Okay, so copy the name again. What's not this one? This server. Okay, so we know what we've got here. So we do lv create -l for memory, and then with size was 500 meg, wasn't it? 500 m, and then the name was lv prac, and then vg prac. Let's check the command. I think it might be S, capital L. Okay, so I just got to do a capital L, not a lowercase l. So yeah, as always, the man page is your friend for double checking that sort of stuff. Yep, and you can see I've got the command the wrong way around here, so vg prac and then lv prac. So now it's asking for the physical volume. Clear. Okay, so what did we have here? So we got the physical volume. So we're going to have lg create lv prac. What have I got? Option, arguments, position. So now I need -n. Okay, this command is pretty horrible, so we'll just do -n for name. So the logical volume is created. So as always, you're never going to remember all these commands off by heart. So the man pages are your friend. As you can see here, I've used the man page quite heavily there. So let's just do an LVS, and we can see LV prac is against the VG prac, and it's 500 meg in size. So that's that one done. So next one is to create the XFS file system and mount persistently. So that's a couple of steps in that one. .xfs, and then it's dev. No, we won't do that. So dev. Try and remember it's mapper, and then VG. There we go. So make fs, xfs, dev mapper, VG prac, LV prac. So that will create the file system on that directory. So we now have a file system. So we could potentially mount that now. So let's just go into FS tab. You can see a perfect example right there. So that's an XFS file system. It's using the defaults. It's even using the dev mapper naming. So worth copying that actually, so I don't get this wrong. So we can just do a yank p, and then we just do an insert and just overwrite the top this line, and too easy. So that will do. So mount the VG prac, LV prac with XFS and defaults. Looks good to me. Well, where do I want to mount it to? So let's think of a mount point. Did they give anything they wanted to mount it to? Did it just say persistent mount point? Oh, to the mount LV prac directory. Okay, so mount LV prac directory. Okay, so to manage that directory, we probably need to create this directory structure if it's not already. MMT should be there, but this LV prac probably isn't, so let's just make sure all of it's there. We'll try just doing a mount anyway, and if it doesn't work, then we'll sort out that. So first thing, do a right quit, make sure it looks good. Yep, can't see any issues with that. So just do mount -a. See, mount point doesn't exist. Yeah, wasn't no problem at all for that. Also, we've got the extra disk information there, so let's do a couple of cleans up there. So let's just do for stuff like this, it may be just worth just commenting out rather than completely deleting it. I always find that's thing, so that should now any error for that. Yep. Make dir mount LV prac. Okay. No errors now. So ls. Let's just do a df -h to get the mount points, and we can see dev mapper VG prac LV prac around 500 meg is now mounted at mount LV prac. So that's perfect. That's working. So the next one, so we've done the LV prac logical volume, should be formatted with the XFS file system. So we've done so far, we created a new volume group called VG prac, and that was using the VG command. So we have a look at VGS, on the right server that is. Go on to here, do a VGS. We can see the VG prac. We can then double check, do we create a 500 meg logical volume? So it's giving you some clues with the name of that. So LVS, we can see LV prac is against the volume group there, and that's 500 meg as they requested. And the LV prac logical volume should be formatted with the XFS file system and mounted, or mount persistency on the mount LV prac directory. So that's done. Obviously you can do things like reboot the server if you're really unsure if it's going to work after reboot, but yeah, I'm pretty confident that should work. Now the next one is to extend the XFS file system on LV prac by 500 meg. So it's actually something we can do. It's something I learned from one of you guys on the video, so thanks for this. So we can actually do an LV extend. And we can do a minus R. Let's do a help. Oh, that's really not good. So resize R for FS. We want also the size, so hyphen size or minus L, okay, and then by specified size, and just give the LVS. Okay, so LV extend 500 minus L 500 M, and then minus R to resize, and then the LV itself. I don't want the volume path. Okay, so it's dev mapper VG. Yeah. Okay. Unchanged. Okay, so we need to do plus. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Okay, so I've got that right now. So LV extend minus L, capital L, so to specify size, plus 500 meg to add an additional 500 meg, minus R to resize the file system, and then the actual location you need to specify. So yeah, some of these things, as always, they're going to be a bit trial and error. No one's going to remember every single command, and as I've shown throughout this, you just keep going to man pages, or at least using the minus H for help or dash dash help. You may find the answer you're looking for. So I've just successfully resized, so you can see the size has changed from 500 meg to 1000 meg, or pretty much a gig. Do df minus h and just make sure it's resized correctly. So yeah, 995 meg, which is basically a gig. Yep. Cool. So the next one on the list is, so use an appropriate utility to create a 5 terabyte fin provision volume. So when you come across fin provision, most likely they're going to be talking about video, because that's really the core case for this usage. So let's do a video volume. So I think we can use that other disk we had. So I think it was, let's go and find that was, let's do F disk. I think it was dev SDC. Yep, so we've got another 8 gig volume there. So let's create it on there. So we'll need to install video if it's not already. So DNF install video, and then it's the kmod k video. Okay, so we have to install both of those packages and any additional dependencies. So kmod means kernel module, so obviously it means it directly integrates with the kernel, so it works at a lower layer than the general services, and in that manner it's also going to take a little bit longer to install because it has to obviously hook into the kernel. So they're not asking for any name of the volume or anything like that, so it's just an appropriate utility to create a 5 terabyte fin provisioned volume. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll just clear the screen. So it's then video create. You can give it a name. We'll just give it a name of video 1. That literally doesn't matter. We give it a device to go to, and that would be dev SDC, and then video logical size, equals 5t, write policy equals auto. I think that's everything. So video create, got to give it a name, device, logical size. The write policy I think is optional, but it's probably good to specify it. Okay, so it's mounted file system again. So we have to do umount dev SDC. So we know about the so also let's just fix it up in FS tab as well. I don't want it to break, so just remove that from there. Let's try that again. So I've got a ext4 signature detected. That's fine, we know about that because it was just a standard ext4 file system on that disk. We're going to just do a force, so we don't have to bother. Okay, so we can now check the video. So if we do fdisk -l and then dev sdc, oh sorry, yeah, I'll have to, I think it's dev video sdc, yep, dev mapper video 1. So disk dev matter mapper video 1, 5 terabytes. So yep, that's it. So it's only logically defined that, so it's just it's not actually given that space, it's fin provisioned it, but yeah, it's ready to go. Obviously there's some dangers with using fin provisioned. You've got to be careful if you're using fin provisioned disk on top of fin provisioned, then you can have issues. So you've got to make sure you fix provision at something like VMware, and if you're going to fin provision, you're going to use it fin provisioning within the system here. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, configure a basic web server that displays welcome to the web server once connected to it. Ensure the firewall allows the HTTP and HTTP services. Okay, not too bad. So we can install that. Perhaps we'll do that on server 1 because it's been a bit neglected. So dnf install http d. Okay, httpd is already installed. So let's do a systemctl status httpd is active and running. Okay. It's listening on port 80. So let's just do a wget .403 forbidden. Okay. So the server's running already. So let's have a look what the so look at the website is configured like. HTML. Okay, just index.html. Just create some text. Let's not write 5 terabytes on the on the screen. What they want, welcome to the web server. Okay, right. Okay, let's do that. So that's working better. Yeah, so the index.html is showing that. So there's no 403 anymore, so it looks like it's working. So now let's just do the firewall stuff. So let's get the active zones first. So we can see for the ETH0 and the ETH1 interface, the public zone is the only active zone, so that's cool. So it makes it easy. And let's do a list all. Yep, again it just confirms the same interfaces. So the services currently accepted: cockpit, DHCP v6 client, DNS, FTP, HTTP, and HTTPS. So it's kind of already done in this case. So I'll just quickly go through just in case you did have to do that. So firewall CMD, and then we do zone public add service HTTP. So it's already saying it's already there. HTTPS. Yep. And then if you're sure that's all looking good, then you just do a permanent at the end to permanently add it into the zone. And obviously you can do it to different zones again through here. So it's pretty simple. Let's have a quick look on the other one, see if it's already configured or not. Let's just do a list all on this one. So the server 2. So we have, okay, so the services are not enabled. We've got the public again. Do we have HTTPD? System CTL, HTTP status. So that's running as well. So I've not been able to get to resolve it. Oh, whoops. It's just actually forbidden as well. Okay. So we can at least just enable the so let's add the service for HTTP and then HTTPS, and then we can just do a list all. You can see it's currently there. If we did a reload right now, it would wipe that out. So we'll just do a permanent for those. Too easy. Okay, that adds that in. If you do a double get, I think it still get forbidden because we don't have anything on the website. Connected but forbidden. Yep. Okay. So we just have to do in that case, we just do a vi var www HTML and then index.html and put that text there. What was it? Welcome to the web server and all that gumph. And just do the same thing again. Now we've got a welcome to the web server. Yep, so that works absolutely fine. So that was that step, which is pretty straightforward, that one. And the final one I'll cover in this video is find all files that are larger than 5 meg in the etc directory and then copy them to find large files. So first thing, let's just double check, is there actually a directory called find on here? No. Okay. On server 1, is there something called that? There's no mount point or anything like that, so it doesn't really matter which server we do it on. Again, we'll just make directory find, and then was it into the directory? Yeah, find large files. Okay, so we have to do a make the -p to create all the parents at the same time. Okay, so we should have find and large files. Cool. Nothing in at the moment, but we have that. So now we're going to do, it was find in etc directory and they're larger than 5 meg. So it's a find, and then the directory we want to search in, so etc hyphen size we're looking for, and then we've got to give the size, so plus greater than 5 meg, and then we want to execute a command based on this, and it'll be a cp, and then you've got to do squiggly brackets to tell it to whatever it finds in this with this command, it's then going to cp, this is going to be the source, that'll be the source file, and then it's going to do move it to find large files, and then finally we just need something to close this off. So it just tells you to, and that's the end of the execution. That's completed without any errors, so that looks good. If you just do an ls, we've got 2 files. And how you can quickly check that your work is good is just do a without the execute and just see what comes up. So it's actually gone, you can see it's gone deep into the directories and actually copied out and found those individual files. So you can do less than, so you got a lot more files, for example. Okay, that's pretty much it for this video. The next video will cover, I think pretty much to the end. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So it'll be 6 for the next video, and that'll finish off the practice exam, and that'll pretty much finish off the course, barring any additional changes to the Red Hat course by Red Hat themselves. As always, I've posted the details of my Ko-fi page, so it's ko-fi.com/csg_yt. That's csg_yt for YouTube. And I've got my TeePublic page for any merchandise if you're interested in anything like that. And then finally, my Discord channel is also available there, and the link is in the description below for all of these, if you'll find them useful. So please check them out. Discord is the best place to ask questions, really. I do try and address stuff in the comments, but it's more difficult than somewhere like Discord, where you can ask more detailed questions, and you can also provide screenshots and stuff like that as required. So I hope again this video has been really helpful, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks again.